Welcome to the Verde and Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verde, and joined by my guy, Ka'morreun Pimpton. Appreciate you coming in the studio, man.
No problem. Appreciate you.
It's going to be good to get to know you. I mean, I know a lot of people, you're jumping off the charts, bro. 6'6", 242 pounds. In my head, that's an absolute mismatch. That's a nightmare. I used to play DB a little bit, wasn't great. I'd have got mossed a hell of a lot of times trying to guard you. Sophomore, so you know, you got some time to grow and be molded, but talk about your journey to LSU and how you got here from Fort Worth, Texas.
I would definitely say my journey to LSU was definitely a roller coaster in the beginning because I didn't get offered from LSU until like my 5th game of my senior year. So like I was already almost halfway through, and then they was still kind of looking at me as far as like when Coach Denbrock was here and things like that. So like it was cool though. Like I mean, LSU's always been a dream of mine, and definitely like at least just be in that atmosphere to be able to see what it's like to be at LSU. And then now it's a dream come true even more than just even put on the pads and wear the helmet like that. So I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm blessed to be in this position anyway. So
what was that like, getting that phone call, or you know, finding out that you're getting that offer at LSU?
Man, I'm getting gas. I'm like not even like thinking about football right now. Like I'm pumping gas and I get a call from Coach Denbrock. Like usually you'll get that like text before like, hey, we about to call you. He ain't say none of that. So I'm just answering the phone. I'm like, what's up, Coach? He's like, you doing something? I'm like, nah, like I'm getting gas like it's on a normal day. And then like he just say, hey, we want to offer you and like we're all in. And I was like, well, I mean, I can get gas more often, I guess. So I mean, but no, it was definitely a full circle moment. Like I said, I mean, pretty much my senior year, I kind of blew up from there. It was like a real like big boom from there. All the offers came. So like, it was just so much stuff going on at that time, and man, like it was great, man. It felt good. It felt really good to know that what I was doing was really impacting something, and that I was making a name for myself for real.
I agree. I mean, it's always good to be able to see that hard work get put in, and then now you get to reap the benefits.
Yep.
I looked up a little bit about you. I saw you did some shot put, some track and field, but I had to ask, you do some basketball, other type of sports?
Yeah, I did. I hooped until like my junior year, and then I was like, I knew I was really good at track, and I knew I was going to state and stuff like that. So like at that time, it was really intertwining with basketball. So I was like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, Lee, dude, same height as me playing point guard. I said, yeah, it's done. Like, let's just hang it up. And then like from there on, I just kind of was like, hey, this football thing is really good. Now I've been playing football all my life, of course. But I mean, I was just wondering, like all usual athletes do, is just play all multiple sports, and so I was really good at track. So I just kept doing it, and then like that's why I ended up, I was like, I ain't gonna do basketball for real. So then track was really my sport that helped me really get outlooks, because people was like, with my stature and the way I'm like a tall guy, to be able to throw the shot put as far as I can and be able to do those kind of things, it was one of those things. Was like, wow, you got a lot of explosiveness, and so it really helped me in my recruiting process and really pushed me to be above a lot of people.
Would you say that, I'm always a big advocate for this, but I feel like sports in a young person's life, especially multiple sports, it's that discipline. Like it's a good routine that helps kids kind of get on that right track. And I feel like, I mean, in your instance, with the path that you're going on, all the things that you've done, it kind of speaks volumes. Just talk about sports and the impact that's had on you. And I mean, even at this level, you know, you're at the SEC, it's a big boy ball. So you can, you know, you're up in that ante, you got that mental fortitude already. And I feel like part of that is because of all the things you've been able to do.
Yep. I would definitely say that I would encourage anybody to play a sport. Just any sport that at least gives you that drive to really go out there and do something. Now, of course, I mean, you got the silent sports like golf and things like that, but like that's still a sport at the end of the day. You still got to work and you still got to get your craft. And for me, it really helped me because like all my life, me and my dad were like together with sports. So like all my life has been through sports. My parents have been through sports. Learning things have been through sports. Everything's been through sports. My punishment was running gashers as a kid. So like it was really one of those things where it's like once you really figure out what you really want to do, and then knowing that it's through a sport, I mean, that discipline just comes with it, because the discipline is telling yourself that if I want to get to this level, then I got to work at what I'm doing. And it just builds that hard work and mentality to tell you like what you need to do and how you need to do it.
Short-term pain, long-term gain, bro. That's what they say. And I feel like this one, you know, this question I got coming up is kind of relating to that as well. Moving out of state, moving to, you know, a new area. I'm not too sure, you know, if you've been around Baton Rouge prior to this, but how do you handle that? You know, you're not too far away from home, but it's still hours.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a trek to get back in the great state of Texas.
Man, It was definitely hard in the beginning because, like, I'm a real family-oriented kid. Like, all my family, like, I never had any mishaps with any of my family members. Everybody in my family were really close. So when I left, I didn't just leave my mom and dad. I left everybody. So, like, coming down here, it was really one of those things where it was like, man, I know I want to be great, and I know a place going to take me to be great is at LSU. So I was like, got to take that risk. And I'm paying the benefits of it because, I mean, I'm happy that I was able to be away from my family because, like I said, I was a family-oriented kid. And sometimes you get real closered off with your parents. They around you a lot, and you gotta get that away time from them. And I did. So for me, it really helped because it was like it learned me to be more independent, learning how to do a lot of more things, and just being more dependent on myself. And which make me better because then it allows me to just have my own time to go work out, do stuff like that. And then, but no, it's great. My family loves it. They love coming to Baton Rouge. They love seeing LSU. So, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, it was a win-win for me at the end of the day. Yes, it was hard for my mom to pack my bags and, like, send me all the way down here. But at the end of the day, they could still come down here and drive. They could still fly. It's still an ability to get to me. So that was a good thing. It was a little median of things like that. It wasn't too close to where, like, I'm pretty much at home. But it was definitely far enough to where it was like, yeah, we can come see him, and then he can have his little alone time as well.
What would you say to a recruit that's contemplating something like that? Because I feel like, staying home and being in proximity is always step number one, yes, or at least priority number one. Yeah. And, in your instance, like you're saying, you're reaping the benefits just by taking that shot. So if somebody's a little bit, trigger shy, they're like, what would you say to them to kind of like light that fire?
I would definitely say, pretty much, it's really just betting on yourself. Like, do you honestly feel like you can go away and be okay? Like, at the end of the day, like, making the decision was going to be on me regardless. Yes, I took my parents' advice on, like, what I needed to do or how I needed to do it. But at the end of the day, like, I had to be the one to make the decision, like, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. Like, so I would just say it's really just thinking about it, like, betting on yourself and just telling yourself, man, I'm going to be okay. And then definitely, like, when you're getting recruited, make sure those people that are recruiting you are the ones that really want to, like, help you and be around you like that. So, I mean, because you want to go somewhere where you feel like you at home, obviously. Right. So, because if you was at home and you stay, like, 2 hours away, then you right there. But if you go somewhere else, you got to be able to feel a home away from home. So, I mean, it's betting on yourself and just making sure that the environment that you're in is giving you that family-oriented that you just left.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like that's really important. And I mean, in my opinion, just from what I've seen, I feel like that's one of the things that Brian Kelly kind of attacked really quickly at LSU, like building that culture, trying to get everybody team-oriented, like, whether it be the offense going to Cortez Hankton's house or just like all kind of different events where it's just team bonding. And I mean, of course, all schools do that, but it's been really interesting to watch the program come together as quickly as it has. You kind of talk about that and just what it's like being alongside someone like Coach Kelly.
Yes, no, definitely. Coach Kelly definitely has his ways of making sure that we all stay together. I mean, dealing with team meetings or just team bonding events to where we just make sure that as a team it's not offense versus defense. Like, yes, fall camp gets hard, gets rough, it's hot outside. Like, yeah, we're going to have our mishaps. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's always a time where we come together. And I really like that because it's like you got to understand that in the heat of battle, you got to trust the guy next to you. Yep. And if we've been fighting all fall camp, and then all of a sudden, like, we ain't even squashed nothing, and we ain't made it seem like we brothers or nothing like that, and then it come that time, and the dude be like, hey, I need you. I mean, I wouldn't be there either. Well, I mean, we ain't, like, so he definitely makes sure that we stay connected with each other on things like that, and make sure that we understand that at the end of the day, we're a team, and that every person that's wearing that LSU helmet is important. And not just because you start or that you're the next guy going in. Like, everybody's important. From the recruiting process to when you, as far as winning a Heisman. Like, you still all mean something. Now, yes, we all have our different playing fields and all different things that we're needed for, but we're all still needed in the end of the day. And he makes sure we know that.
Everybody's got that piece of the puzzle, and you can't complete the puzzle. If you got the whole puzzle and you got one piece missing, it's gonna irk you. You're like, man, it's not complete.
Just like that, yeah.
I feel like this tight end room, though, Coach Kelly, he's been a big tight end guy. You hear when he comes at LSU, he's like trying to build it to where it is today. And I'd argue this is the best tight end room we've seen in years, honestly. One of the leaders of the room, Mason Taylor, I feel like he's a pretty good piece to be able to lean on just because, he's had that quick success, but he's also had, I feel like, sustained success. Like, it wasn't just a one and done type year. Like, he has a lot of different roles, wears a lot of hats, and he seems like, a big like morale boosting guy. Kind of talk about him and just what you've been able to get off of him, and just like if he's been able to influence you.
From day one, Mason was definitely that guy that you could like definitely talk to if you needed to, and he's kind of the guy that leads by example. Like he'll show you like what it's like to make sure you know the plays, knowing the signals, what it takes to be in the game at times like that. Like he understands what it is to have like, I mean, that LSU mentality. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like he came in as a freshman and kind of got pushed in that role, and then just kind of like it just kind of, like you said, flowed from there. And so when I came in, he was definitely one of the guys that helped me learn the signals, definitely was in that situation where he was able to just show me what it looks like to go out there and play as a tight end. Like, I mean, in the big games, and even at times when he was hurt or injured, he still showed like grit enough to go out there and keep playing and things like that. So, I mean, definitely picking back and off of what he's done. Just once he flourishes and leaves, I just want to make sure I up that and keep moving.
Kind of, bouncing off of that, what are your goals this year? Whether it be on the field, off the field, do you have anything that you're kind of aiming for, shooting for?
I mean, definitely aiming to get my first touchdown. That's definitely obviously on my list. I mean, as a kid, you always dream of those things like that. So definitely want to get my first touchdown either in the stadium, or definitely would love for it to be in the stadium just to get that atmosphere. But I mean, my goals for this season is just, I mean, mainly really just to become better than what I was last year. I mean, become that bigger and stronger guy, be available, really more or less than anything. Just making sure that anytime my name is called, I'm ready, and then when that opportunity comes, to go take it. And just the work I've been putting in, just the grind I've been putting myself through is hard, really hard. But at the end of the day, I always tell myself when I look in the mirror in the morning that it's worth it. Because the stuff I'm trying to do and the places I'm trying to go, I gotta work this hard, or 10 times harder than that, because somebody else doing the same thing. So, I mean, my goals are ultimately just gonna be fully just getting myself better, being better than I was last year. Not just being better as far as bigger and stronger, but being better. I move better, I'm quicker, I'm faster. I'm just able to do more things than I was able to do last year. And just when that time comes, just to open it up and show everybody what I can do.
That's like that Mamba mentality thing Kobe Bryant always talks about. Like, if you get better every day while your competition's sleeping, if you continuously 365 days a year over a span of 3-4 years, that gap widens so far, and that's how you get to that point where you're a D1 athlete, you're an NFL player, you're a Heisman, you're this, you're that. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely, I feel like the biggest piece of the puzzle. But maybe an equal proportional piece would be that mindset that you're talking about, and just having that dog in you to be able to trudge through that mud and like actually get to the glory days, because there's a lot of like unseen work. There's a lot of things that you don't get praised for that athletes, I mean, that's really the description of the job. You know what I mean? People only see 10%, if even, of the work. Yeah, and it's like, I use this analogy for DBs all the time. The viewers have heard me rattle this one off a million times, but you could have a 55 snap game, 54 perfect snaps, that 55th snap, one bad play, and it's like people just think you're the worst DB in the world. Mm-hmm. But you had a 99% accurate game. Like, you played well. It was one moment, and I get it. It's crunch time, and everyone remembers like the big final moments. But sometimes it's just kind of, I feel like it's good to dial back and just realize the overall body of work, because like you're talking about, we're in the off season right now, and you're busting your tail like it's the season. Mm-hmm. So you really don't have a break, all in all. I mean, you're going year in, year out, punching the clock. I feel like it's kind of why we're in the situation we're in at LSU, and we got these, powerful tight ends, powerful offense. But it looks like the sky's the limit, especially, I mean, the things I've seen, like with Coach Joe Sloan, and like how they're kind of tailoring that offense to fit us. It looks like it's going to continue to be explosive. Like, you got people questioning and wondering, and you're always going to have the doubters. You're always going to have that. And quite frankly, I would rather it than not, because you can use it as motivation. You could really use it as fuel. But I feel like there's a bunch of opportunity for y'all not to be able to skip a beat. Like, do you lose Jaden Daniels? Of course, but Nussmeier's no freshman quarterback. Like, he's been in this system for years, and I feel like he's kind of got that moxie, that veteran mindset about him. If you can, what's your take on that? Just like that pulse check on that offense. How would you react if someone's like, man, I'm sleeping on LSU?
And honestly, I definitely, like, on paper, obviously you're looking at it like oh, we just lost all these first-round picks, our Heisman, all these things like that. But, man, I mean, it's so hard to explain. It's just week one is so close, and ain't really too much to say except just watch. Like, we definitely got some stuff shaking over here at LSU for sure. Like, we definitely got some guys that's going to definitely come up and bring out what we couldn't show last year because we had so many good guys around. Once you got a lot of good guys around in one room or on a team, it's hard to just display what everybody can do. And now once you move those guys out the picture and they go do their endeavors, now you got the next guys that's coming up. So the people that's coming up, man, it looks good. I mean, Nuss is coming in. He's definitely finally got his wings up under him. He didn't have those years to learn and do what he need to do. And now it's his time to take on the reins. And then everybody else, we just kind of follow.
Yeah, it's going to be so exciting, bro, because, I mean, you got the 12-man playoff. You got the SEC seeding kind of shaking up. It looks like, I mean, I feel it's a pretty good situation to be in. Year 3 under BK has always been a really good year. It's a lucky year if I have to say so myself. But I have one more question for you. I mean, you kind of brought it up a little bit when you were talking about wanting that touchdown. I wanted to be in that environment, that word environment. Toughest stadiums, all this has been the talk on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the socials lately. You know, college football 25 is coming out in about 2 weeks here. And they dropped a list. And when I seen the list, I was like, something don't sit right with me. I mean, you got A&M, and look, shout out to y'all. The 12th man is good. I'm not hating, but number 1?
Yeah.
And then you got Bama, like, all right. But LSU at number 3, I would have never guessed. I mean, look, I'll take a 2, because you can't always have everything go your way.
Yeah.
But a number 3, top 3 in the SEC, I feel like that was crazy. What was your reaction to that? I mean,
I don't really be getting in the list, but like when it comes to stuff like that, like LSU is different, man. I mean, like I've been in a lot of environments. I done played in a lot of environments, and to just be in that stadium and look around you and see 100K people watching you on the field, bro. I don't think no environment can compare to that. Yeah, A&M is for sure loud. 12 man, they got their little slogan and stuff like that. But ain't nobody comparing to Death Valley. Like you telling me that our slogan is your dreams come here to die? Nah. I don't care what school you bring up. I don't care how many people you put in that stadium. LSU fans gonna keep it rocking regardless of who we playing. Like it don't matter. We could be playing a Pee-wee team and they gonna still make sure they got 100K in that stadium.
Facts.
Like it's different. Like it's really different out here when it comes to football. And I'm from Texas, we're a big football state, and like everywhere is packed. So I mean, saying that to be able to come over here and it be the 10 times better than what it was, yeah. I don't think there should be. It should be LSU 1 and everybody else is BBB. I don't think nobody can compare to that. Yeah, I mean, Texas A&M is a close second, but ain't no 1A, 1B. It's only LSU in my eyes. Cause man, I may be biased. I don't care if I'm biased, but if you go stand in that stadium and you listen to, you can't even hear the person next to you. Like man, it was amazing to be in that environment. Man, as a freshman to get able to at least just travel and go see stuff like that and just be able to like look around you and see every fan standing up cheering because you got the LSU on your helmet. Yeah, it's a feeling like no other, and I don't think no other school can do it.
They literally have earthquakes. Like the stadium rocks so hard that the earth shakes in Baton Rouge. I feel like that alone, I don't know. The Richter scale needs to be taken into account here.
It do. It's different. Like it's not data. It's not something that you can sit there and describe. Like you literally got to tell a person, like, man, you got to come see this. Like, and then once you see it and you really feel what it's like, I think you'll change your mind immediately.
Exactly. Got to get them rating experts out here, man. I got to do some field research.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate you, Ka'morreun, for hopping on, man.
No problem. Appreciate you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you blow up this season, man. It's going to be really cool to watch.
Yeah, thank you.
We got another video coming out. Y'all stay tuned. I split it up this time. I'm reading the comments. I'm appreciating the criticism. It's all constructive. We're gonna grow. But this has been the Verdant Verdict. Y'all hit the subscribe button. We're going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thanks for watching.